Welcome to day 4 of the Sewing Room Declutter Challenge 2026. I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts, and together we're going to clear out the unwelcome, the unwanted, and the no longer necessary to make space for a year full of creativity, clarity, and joy. Today we continue to focus on one of your most valuable pieces of real estate in your sewing space, and that is your shelves. And the star of the show today is books. Books need their own day separate from magazines because books are more substantial. They take up space, and not only do they have power, they have inspiration, skills, nostalgia, and sometimes maybe a little bit of guilt. You might also have several types of quilting books. For instance, reference books that you reach for again and again, inspiring coffee table beauties, pattern books that you've just loved or perhaps have never opened, treasures from workshops, quilt shows, or favorite designers. There's probably some bargains that you picked up at garage sales or quilt shows. Or maybe you have expensive volumes that you invested in years ago. But no matter where they came from or how much they mean to you, we're still working with capacity. There's only so much that will fit on your shelves. And the more space that your books take up, the less room there is for fabric, tools, and projects. And step 1 in the challenge is putting on your timer. You are probably now getting an idea of what time increment works best for you before you have to take a break and refocus. I find either 10 minutes or 15 minutes works best for me, as I get easily distracted. And today, looking at all those patterns and the colors and pictures in the books, I know those squirrely ideas are just going to be coming fast and furious. So I might even take it down to 5 minutes today, but I can change it as I go if necessary.
Step 2 is to define the capacity for your books.
You might have a shelf, a bookcase. Some people even have entire rooms.
Step 3 is to declutter. Now you might
gather all your books. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to pull everything off the shelves, but you do need to search your drawers, your nightstands, your project bags, and perhaps a stack of books in your living room. Grab those books and bring them back to your space. Don't be embarrassed about it. Books travel, they migrate as you use them, and perhaps they multiply while we're not looking. But we need to bring them all together so that you have the full picture.
Now the hard part. Ask yourself, is this book valuable enough to earn a place on my shelf?
We all have those ones that I might make it one day, or are there because of the price that you paid for them, or they might be aspirational that you might have the skills one day. But remember, our space is limited, so go with the ones that you really love first and then fill in appropriately. And as you go through your collection, you might notice something wonderful. 1, that your tastes have evolved. 2, your skills have improved. Your interests within quilting and with other crafts have changed. Some books that felt absolutely essential a couple of years ago no longer align with the maker that you are today. Now I know that some of you might still have to make further cuts after defining your space and putting your favorites up there. And again, I am surprised that I am in that group today. Over the years, I have divided my book collection into a few groups. I keep all my pattern and technique guides here in my sewing space. My ruler work and free motion quilting books I keep at the studio by my long arm. Then, because I wanted more capacity, I expanded my capacity to include some bookshelves in my bedroom. Here I keep my inspirational books by my reading chair. However, last year I needed more capacity, so I split them in 2, and I keep my textile books here, and I moved the color and graphics one to this bookcase. But yesterday, as I was doing my magazines, I realized that I have even more books this year, much more than my bookshelves can handle. So I'm going to have to make some hard choices too.
Step 4 is removing those books from your space.
Luckily, my guild has a garage sale in January, so I will know that any books I cull will go to a good home. For you, maybe in your community, your library will take your quilting books. And don't forget the new quilters that are in your circle. And if they are damaged, like this book is, you can put them in the recycling bin. Now remember, today it will be very easy to get distracted. Have your phone or a pen and paper handy to capture those great ideas and reminders that pop into your head when you're doing hard stuff. And please reward yourself with at least 5 minutes of sewing on your Declutter Challenge project. Even 5 minutes of sewing will help you get to the finish line. Now it's time for you to share. Books carry memories, dreams, and promises. So it's normal to feel sentimental and conflicted today. This is just part of the process. So please take a moment and share a comment about your day. Take a photo, share it in the Facebook group or online with this year's hashtags. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for day number 5.